What I did to start making this something that you can start finishing, there's only a couple things that you just haven't done yet, but the process is pretty easy. That handout can be a little small, a little tough to read, and a little tricky to navigate. So if you click on, and I'll link this basically every day. If you look at the link on Canvas, under cohort A or cohort B, right, that live link right there, that will actually open up that whole handout that you have. And you can just scroll and get to that stuff a little bit faster. And remember, I shared that whole starting data stuff with you so that no matter what lesson you're on, you shouldn't have to type any of the beginning stuff in. You should be able to just go to that start data sheet that I shared with you, that spreadsheet, and be able to click on all that stuff. So we're into 3.2. And I'm going to talk through whatever I think you might need. But I really want to just give you a chance to do most of this stuff on your own now that you're starting to get a little bit more familiar with it. Any of the newer stuff, I will always kind of stop, pause throughout all of these. But I think you can finish 3.2 and probably start and finish 3.3 today as well. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to work it too, so we can see it happening, and then you can always stop me if you have any questions. But I'm going to pull up my drive, data and decisions, and there's my 3.2a that we started last week, where I think all we did was that find and replace, right? That's all we got to is we changed all the MacBook Airs and Pros and just plain old MacBooks to that. And so what I'm going to do a little bit is I'll just kind of go back and forth. But if you want to do it on your own, you definitely can. You don't have to listen to me do it. But I am going to kind of talk through each one of these as I do it. We finished number 4. Okay. And so I'll talk through the rest of these. I'll give you a minute to kind of get yourselves organized. But ignore me if you get it. If you can just cruise through these, go for it, right? But you want to jump into your drive, jump back into that lesson 3.2, open it up, and if you go to Canvas, you can have this open as well, or of course you can just take out the handout. For which one? Oh, on Canvas under today's announcement. For us, it's let's finish at least through 3.3. It's that one right there. Okay. But I'll probably even go in and just share this whole thing. Where am I? Share this. Oh, no. Share this. That. I'll share this whole thing with you too. Okay. But I'm just going to start working through 5, 6, 7, and 8. But it tells you how to do it, which is really nice. Okay, so ignore me if you want, or listen and do it at the same pace that I'm doing it. I'm in 3.2, looking at number 5 on whatever page this is. Looks like page technically 62 at the bottom left-hand corner there. Okay. I just want to change all of those numbers in column B to dollars, right? Because that's not number of things sold. It'd be kind of crazy if in 1 week, one store sold 10,000 MacBooks. That's $10,000 worth of MacBooks, okay? And so if I wanted to format that currency, and I'll put the dollar symbol, commas, decimal places, all that stuff, I'm going to click the whole column because there's going to be totals and averages and stuff down here that I still want to be dollars as well. I'm just going to click this dollar sign right here. Format as currency. It'll change it all. Okay. Now, if you don't like some of those zeros at the end, I mean, maybe, you highlight all that, and then right next to the dollar sign is percent. You can skip that one for now. We'll actually come back to it. You can decrease decimal places right there. I just kind of clicked and dragged and highlighted all these. Like maybe you just want to see dollars. Right? You can have as many decimal places as you'd like. The one on the left decreases how many you've got. The one on the right increases. I'm going to leave them though, because when I talk about average daily sales, there might be some dollars and cents that I want to keep track of. Okay, so click column B, click that dollar sign. That'll make everything turn into money. Okay, and then we start getting into some formulas, and we already talked about this, that if you wanted to actually do something, you have to start any formula with an equal sign. And we're going to do a couple right now. We're going to do a little multiplication, a little addition. Okay, so really number 6 is just telling you that if you want to use a formula to calculate some stuff, put an equal sign to start. And what you see in column C is how much tax you're going to have to pay, because when we think about us as consumers paying sales tax, that sales tax is not going to Apple, right? Apple collects the sales tax and then pays the government, okay? And so if we're tracking sales, we want to also be tracking the taxes that we should be collecting on them, so that when we do, if we're running the business, when we're kind of closing our books for the end of the week, end of the month, whatever we do, we know how much that check needs to be that's got to go out to the government, okay? And so let's say, just to make life a little bit easier, that the sales tax for wherever we are is 7%. Okay. And so if I want to calculate the sales tax in this, I got to start with equals so it knows what to do. And then I'm just going to take this B11 cell. So you can just type in B11 or click on it. And I want to multiply by 7%, because that'll tell me how much tax we're supposed to be collecting on all those sales. Multiplication is the asterisk, right? Shift 8 for me. And then I can just do 7%. I can just type the percent symbol, which for me is Shift 5. Instead of putting 0.007 and having to like change it to decimals like we did in Algebra 2 when we were doing stuff like that, didn't we do something with compound interest, right? We had to like change it from percent back to decimals. The Google Sheet can allow that to happen without having to make that change. We just have to type the percent symbol. Okay, so for me in C11, I'm going to do B11 times 7%, and then I'm just going to click and drag that all the way down, so it kind of copies that formatting and keeps track of everything. And because we didn't put the dollar sign in front of the B11, it's going to change B11 to B12 and B13 and B14. It's not going to hold on to that cell, which is really nice. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I just want to calculate the total. So I'm going to say equals B11 plus C11. And add those two up. That's going to be how much we should have collected total. And then I'll click and drag that all the way down. Right, that little square at the bottom, click and drag, again, so you see it. All right. Click and hold, drag that down, and it'll copy that formatting all the way down, so that when I get to D27, it's doing B27 plus C27. I'll have to actually write that in. Okay, so that was 7 and 8. Right? Calculate the tax by just multiplying by 7%, and then to figure out the total, just take those two cells, add them up. And then that autofill takes care of it, which is awesome. Okay, and then what we want to do below all of that, so all the way down to B29, is figure out the total. How much money, how many sales did we do total amongst all these products? And then how much tax did we get? And how much was that total? And so I just want to add all those up. Okay, so I want to click equals in that box. And look, I love Google Sheets, man. Look what it does. It gives us a suggestion for what we might want to do in that spot. And actually, that's exactly what we want to do. Okay, we want to take the sum, right, add them all up, of everything from B11 really to B27. They're including B28 because we put this empty spot in here just to kind of visually separate it. So I don't really need B28, but it's a great suggestion. And if you're ever trying to figure out what formulas work, right, you can go up to this top right corner up here, right, that sigma sign, and it'll give you the 5 most common options that we might be using, or you can just go to your full list and try to find ones that work. We want to do sum. And remember, I don't have to do B11 plus B12 plus B13. I can just do B11 and then colon B27. And it should put that box around everything that we're going to add up. Let me blow this up a little bit. It's tough because I want you to see the function thing too. But so that's what I'm typing down there in B29. Okay, I just want the total, so I just want to add them all up. Okay, so the sum from B11 through B27, that's what those does. It takes everything in that range of cells and adds them up. Super, super nice. Press enter and it does it. Over $100,000 in sales for that week. And then we want to figure out what the average was for each day. Okay. And so that was number 9, was find the sum. Okay. Number 10 is to figure out averages. We just add them all up and divide by however many days we're looking at. And because we're looking at a week, we got 7 days. So I'm going to say equals. And look, it gives me a suggestion, average. Well, I don't want to, I'm not averaging like per item. I just want to take this total and see what that does for me daily. So I don't want that suggestion. That's not a good one. I want to take this number, B29, and divide it, which is that right next to your shift. Okay, the / divide by 7. And because we formatted our currency to have those 2 decimal places, now they're really coming in handy that we've got those 29 cents. Okay, I don't love that it's kind of chopping off the rest of these words here, so I'm going to double click that space between A and B and make sure I can see everything. There we go, that's a little better. All right, so there it is for B29, right? B11 through B27, let's add them up. And then let's take that number equals cell B29 and divide by 7. Oh, good, resize column A, so all data is available. A couple things we want to do here. Center align cells A1 through A4. So this stuff should be pretty good. You should be able to basically do the rest on your own. When we get to 17, I want to show that to you, but I'm just going to run through 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So resize column A, did that just because I saw that, wanted to do it. Okay, center align A1 through A4. Center them up. Change the cells A1 to A4 back to left align. Okay, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Bold cells A10 through D10. Okay, so that makes sense because they want us to kind of bold those headings. Nice. And then right align B10 through D10. And I think that's a really good idea because everything below that is already right aligned because they're numbers. So right aligning your headings for that makes sense, and left aligning your headings for this one makes sense too, right? Words always get automatically left aligned, numbers get automatically right aligned. So we can see the size of them a little bit better. Like I can really quickly just look at this visually and see that these top 3 are making the most because like the $ sign is further left, which means there's more numbers. And that iPod Shuffle, no big surprise, is not making a ton of money, only selling $490 worth of them. Because that's just not an item that a lot of people need anymore. Cool. And there's one thing that you might want to be familiar with, okay? And that's what they talk about in number 17, is whether or not you're just typing in the numbers or whether you're typing in the formulas. If you click on View and Show Formulas, what you see is that all of your cells now show what you typed in rather than what the answers actually are that go with it. Okay? And spoiler alert, this is a really easy way for me to tell if you're doing it right. when I check yours, I'm going to click show formulas right away. And I'm going to compare yours to mine and just make sure that they look good. Okay, so when I clicked view and then all formulas, it shows me, okay, they did B11 times 7%, and then they added it up and did all that stuff. They didn't just type in the numbers for somebody else. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Show formulas going off so I can see the answers. And then done. Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. Number 19. Seeing what it looks like when it's printed out. Okay, if you just press print, it's going to give you this nice print preview. And maybe you don't want all of these grid lines there. Okay, there's a lot of ways you can kind of format the way that the printed versions of these look like. Okay. So in the print settings dialog box, click the they don't call it options anymore. They call it formatting. So I'm over here on the right. They've updated their terminology a little bit. And to click off the show grid lines. So on and off. That's really just a style choice. They just want us to keep that off for now. Okay, and if we actually wanted to print this thing out, right? And you can design this however you want. If you want it to be portrait shapes, right, instead of landscape, you got that for orientation. A lot of different things that you can do with it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Okay, we don't actually have to print these, but that's what it would do. It would pull up now this version, and then you can send it wherever you want it. We don't have to though. We're just gonna. It's all in that same folder, so it should all be shared with me. So we're 3.2 done. There's our finished product. Cool. All right, 3.3. I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. So I'm gonna go back to my drive, a new sheet. If you're doing it with me, if you're up to this point, then go ahead and get started. Lesson 3.3, and then my name. And I'm just going to put an A after so I can keep track of how far I've gotten with you guys compared to how far I've gotten with cohort B. And they got to do this stuff from home because we're off tomorrow, right? Election day. And it is a furlough day for all Douglas County employees. So I will be doing 0 work. I'm not allowed to work tomorrow, and I'm going to take advantage of that. Not allowed to work. I know, isn't it nice? They are going to pay me $0 to not work though tomorrow, so that is the downside. But it'll be nice to just kind of take a day and chill out in the middle of the week, and hopefully, you know, tomorrow goes well. So 3.2 done. Let me know if you ever have any questions. I don't know if this is helpful or if you just want me to shut up and let you work, but talking through it, I hope is helping some people. Okay, good. At least Riley's like, yeah, please. Okay, sweet. But let's see, what do they want? What do they want? All right, senior project. So that's perfect. For your senior project, you've decided to hold several workshops to help teachers utilize Google Sheets as a tool to calculate students' grades and averages. You decided to create a sample spreadsheet to use as a guide when demonstrating its useful features and capabilities. They're like tooting their own horn there a little bit. All right, we get it, Google. You're cool. I get it. All right, so some new stuff we're going to do. Averages, minimums, and maximums. The increasing and decreasing decimal places, which what I just showed you a little bit, cut and paste, adding some borders, and then changing the orientation. So not a lot of crazy stuff here. It should make some sense. But I want to save myself a ton of trouble. And instead of hand typing all of that data in, I want to go back, and for you, it should be under shared with me. That start data should be like one of the first ones here at the top. I hope. If it's not, let me know. If you don't have that shared with you, I'll be happy to reshare it. But I want to go back to what Sigmund put together for us because she's amazing. Google Sheets. This start data spot, because 3.3 all right there. and I should be able to just click on everything. Right, so just click this top left box, it selects it all. I'm going to Control C to copy, right? And you can just, of course, you could always just go to edit and click copy, but you can see it's for me Command C, for you guys Control C if you're on a PC. And then I go back to my lesson 3.3, and you can just edit, paste. You can always go to the menu, or you can use the shortcuts, those hotkeys. It's going to take a minute because it's got 26 columns and 1,000 rows to copy. Not much data, but it's got to make sure that all of those spots are filled. So you give it a second. Perfect opportunity for me to get my amazing snack. Thank you, Traven. Always looking out for his boy. And there it is. Data in. I don't have to worry about copying this stuff over, right? Ta-da. I'll give you a minute to try it so you can catch up, and then I'll talk through it. I'll do one thing first. All right, let's do it. 3.3, let's knock it out. This one should be quick. All right, let's see. Into the data done. All right, find the average. Nice. So we've got this spot. Which one am I in now? 3.3, the middle one. Okay. We got this spot over here for averages, and we just want to see how she's doing, how he's doing, how she's doing just on their own. So we've got a formula, so I better type equals first. And I mean, look at that. Bam. It just automatically selects what it might want to do. And there it is, right? Average from C5 to E5. It even put the boxes around it so you can see what's averaging in case maybe you like it or you don't like it. We can always fix it. But that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. The word average, capitalization, I don't think matters. They just do that so that it's super obvious, the formula. And then from C5 through E5. Enter. Nice. Okay. Bam, done. Okay. Now it's right there, right under that sigma, right? One of the options is average, and then you would just type in C5 through E5. What are you bouncing up and down on? Music. I don't know, music out here. Cool. Love it. Perfect. Okay, let's apply that formula all the way down. So back to here, I want everybody's average. So I'm going to click and drag all the way. Now, just so you can see what, oh, get out of here. Just so you can see what might happen sometimes. I click to here, and I can't see all of them. If you just go down to the bottom, it'll start to go, but it'll keep going if you just let it go. We don't want that. All right, I don't want to take all those averages, because look, it's telling me it cannot divide by 0. That's no good. So I went too far. I'm just going to back up. So I'll click and drag and then kind of slow down and go all the way down to B30. And there are those test averages for all of those students. Okay. I don't think we're going to need all those decimal places, and they agree. So here I am in this column F. I don't need, man, what is that, like 9, 8 decimal places? So I'm going to decrease all of those decimals. I don't think we need any. I'm good all the way to there with a nice round whole number average. Okay, so that was this button up here. Because you already have it all selected, so you just go to this one next to percent symbol, decrease decimal places, right? We were all the way out here. So I went to this one, until I'm happy. Cool. So that was number 4, increasing and decreasing decimal places. Okay, notice that the average is rounded to the nearest whole number, which makes sense for me for test averages. All right, now we want to see how each class has done on each test, right? So really what I want to do with all of these numbers in column C is find the average of all those. So I go down here to C32, click equals, and let's see what the option, man, look at that. They know exactly what I want. We want the average, but not through C31, because that's kind of that empty spot. So I'm just going to type this one in. Average, parentheses, C3 through C30. Now you could have just changed the 31 to a 30. That would have been fine, but typing it in sounds good too. So there we go. We got kind of a big number there. Let's see what they want us to do. So that's C33, D33, and E33. So let's just click that blue box, drag it over for C and D, and into E. Lots of decimals there. Let's see if they want us to get rid of them. Yeah. Then remove all the decimal places. Okay. All right. Let's remove down, boom, all the way down. $85, $87, and $88. Right. And always you can show those formulas so you can see what's happening in those spots. Average from C30 to C3 to C30, C3 to D30, and E3 to E30. Awesome. All right, let's see. Looks good. Average, got them all. Okay, decreasing. Okay. Sometimes what's really helpful, I know as a teacher, I want to know how the class did on average for sure, but I also want to know what the highest and lowest scores are. Okay, so if we come down to C33, right, this one next to highest test score equals the maximum. Okay. And what this formula will do is it'll scan from C3, sorry, to C30. It'll scan all of those and it'll find the biggest one. And I just click and drag that over. And what it shows me is that in every class, somebody got 100, which is good to know. Let's see how poorly we do sometimes too. And so because I just did a maximum one, it doesn't surprise me that the next suggestion is minimum. But be really careful. It tries to cut us off at C5 because we just moved down. Oh wait, I like C5. Oh, that's where things start. What am I doing C3 for? Get out of here. Let's go back. Not that it makes a difference, but hold on. Class average, not C3, C5. Not that it makes a difference because there was no numbers in either one, so none of these numbers should change. Maximum C5. And that's what is hard about these bigger spreadsheets. So you have to like scroll back and forth and look like, where does my data actually start? Oh, C5. I don't know why it suggested C3, but just know those suggestions are not always going to be perfect. All right, C5, D5, E5. Okay, good. Lowest test score. Now it knows what it wants. C5, but not through 31. I'm just going to go back and call that C30. So test 1 was a 65. Test 2, better, 75. Test 3, 74. And that's a nice thing to see as a teacher, is that progress is being made. I always like that. All right, so there's number 6 and number 7. All right, find the maximum, find the minimum. And now let's look some formatting. In number 8, bold row 8. Okay, so I go to row 8 and bold it for Jamie. I like how she spells her name, J-A-Y. Cool. Right align cells C4 through F4. C4 through F4. Again, no big surprise they want the right align there because all of your numbers are going to be right aligned. So we right align the headings for those. Cool. Nice. All right, so that was number 9, right align C4 through F4. Okay, number 10, bold cells C33 through E35. 5. Okay, so C, I think they want 32 through 34. I don't know why it's off by a row. Let's just bold these, right? That's kind of what they want. So those numbers stick out. Wonder if Siggy lost a piece of data in there somewhere. I don't know. Cool. All right. Number 11. Cut and paste. To cut text and move it to another cell in your spreadsheet, do the following. All right, so A33 through A35. Let's see if those are the actual numbers we want. I'm guessing A32 through A34. That's going to drive me crazy. All right, we want to take that, and we just want to move them over, right? Why have this space here, right, where row B is, or column B is kind of empty there. So let's take those 3 titles, let's cut them, and then you can just click the first box. You don't have to click all 3. You can just click into the top box where you want things to be pasted, and it'll slide everything over. Right, big difference between copy, which will keep it there, and cut, which is going to make it disappear and slide it to wherever you want. Nice. Resize column B so it looks nice. All right, so I'll double click right there so we can see it all. Beautiful. Add some borders. All right, add a line around a cell or a group of cells in your spreadsheet, A4 through F30. A4 through F30. Take them all, and let's add some borders. Gorgeous. Okay, cool. Number 12, done. All right, select all the borders. So that's the top left one. Number 13, proofread your spreadsheet so it looks good. Print preview and remove the grid lines. All right, so back to that print option, that printer right there. Here's our print preview. What would they like us to do? Remove grid lines. Okay, so that's under formatting. Show grid lines, remove grid lines. So it keeps the borders, but it takes out all of those other grid lines that we didn't really like. Cool, nice, looks good. But take a look at the way this would print if we were printing it. Would you really want these last 2 to sneak onto the next page? No, of course not. If I could get them to fit, let's see if we can do that. So they want us to change from landscape to portrait. Let's see, does that fit everything? Oh yeah, there we go. Much, much better. All in one sheet, one page, nothing leaking over. I like it. There we go, that looks better. Your spreadsheet should look similar to, so there's the beginning, there's the end. Nice, ooh, that looks real good. There's theirs, there's ours. There's ours, beautiful. I like it, nice. 3.3 done. I told you could fly through these. All right, 3.4, let's do it. The faster we do this, the more we can get to actual fun stuff. All right, 3.4. All right, so I'm going to make a new one. I bet that's the plan. So I'm going to go back to my drive, go to DaDs, double click, new Google Sheet. And you just stop me if I'm missing something or if you need something. But these are pretty nicely organized, so you should be able to just kind of walk right through them. Oh, let me add the A at the end there. Lesson 3.4, Mr. Rosengren, A. All right. Top 10 schools. Definitely remember thinking about colleges and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I kind of did this. I just organized where I thought I might want to go into some kind of, it was probably Excel because Google Sheets didn't exist back then, but some Windows 95 or 97 or whatever I had at the time. Into one nice place to kind of organize it. What's this going to cost? How far is it from home? What division are their athletics? how big is the school in terms of square, square miles, I guess is probably what I did. But also like numbers of students, all that kind of stuff. So, all right, so 3.4, top 10 schools, working with hyperlinks. So we actually can drop in links into spreadsheets so that you can easily link websites to them, which is awesome. So you have decided on a college major, marketing. Next step is to narrow down the colleges and universities you would like to research before selecting the one that is best for you. To help you organize your research, you want to create a spreadsheet that includes website links to the top colleges for the major you have selected. All right, cool. Thankfully, we have a start data. Let's see if we can find, there it is, 3.4, with all of it all organized so you don't have to type it in. I wonder if I just select, let's do that. If I just select these, and not the Control A thing, if I just select those and copy those, I wonder if it'll paste it faster because it's less, way faster. 2 rows and 2 columns and 13 rows instead of 26,000 cells. Yeah, it's a lot faster. Cool. Nice. So copy in that data from 3.4. Remember, your start data has all of these sheets down here at the bottom. Click on the one you're on. Nice. All right. Let's knock out 3.4. We got 10 minutes. All right. In your My Sheets folder, create a new spreadsheet. Cool. Done. Enter the data as shown. Done. Unless otherwise noted, resize the column width to fit the cell contents. That's a good idea. Let's make sure that everything fits. Select it all. Double click between A and B. It'll fix all of your columns so that they all fit. Or you can always just do between A and B, and then between B and C one by one. That's fine. Sweet. All right. Number 2 done. All right, number 3. I think here we're actually going to have to type some stuff in, okay? Number 3, insert a link. To insert a hyperlink for quick access to a web page, do the following. All right, so in cell A4, okay, University of Michigan, what I want to do is I want to make that cell clickable so that it goes right to the University of Michigan website, okay? And so that's right up here. Insert, and then down there, insert a link. Okay. Now there is a shortcut key right over here too. Okay, so you have that button right on the menu that does the same thing. So either one's fine. You got to be clicked into that cell, not double click so you're typing though, because that'll screw it up. You just want to select the cell itself, and then opportunity to put in a link. Now I don't know if yours also just did this, but it gave me a suggestion for that website, and that's exactly what we want. umich.edu. And you can see that there it is. They kind of wrote it out for us, kind of small, right? In the link box, type, and there's those brackets. Remember, we don't type the brackets when they tell us. They just want us to type what's inside. www.umich.edu. Google suggested, come on. See, look, it searches for you. The HTTPS. You know what that S means? Secure. Okay, that is the secure version of that website. Always the one you want to choose. Click that. And because I didn't click apply the first time, it didn't save it. Now I actually have to click apply, and you can see, right, that it changes from just the black writing to the blue with the underline, so you know it's a link. Ooh, this is nice. Let's see. Cells now support multiple links. You can link a portion of text or have multiple links in a cell. That's awesome. So if you had more than one piece of data in the cell and you wanted to link that to a couple different spots, you can do that by just selecting one part. That's awesome. Cool. Got it. And there you go. You can just kind of click on that cell and it'll show you what it's going to be. It even shows you the big blue M. Awesome. There you go. Sweet. And so here's the list of all of them. So that if it doesn't give you the correct suggestion, it has all of these. So we would have to actually type these in if we need to. But let's see how it does. So University of Pennsylvania. So I'm going to go over to here to that link button, or you can always just insert a link. Let's see what suggestion it gives us. basically what it's doing is it's taking the contents of that cell and searching Google. And it's giving you the top option. Love it. upenn.edu. Looks good. And apply. And so I'm just going to kind of compare that back to here. Yep, nice. upenn.edu. Good. Because the suggestion might be right, it might be wrong. So you don't want to always take that at face value. All right, insert a link. University of Texas searches. All right, so this is Texas admissions. I don't necessarily want to go to the admissions website. I just want to go to utexas.edu, right? Is that what they want? Yeah, utexas.edu. So I don't like that suggestion. So I'm not going to click. Oh, that's so cool. It even shows you like a quick. That's awesome. Little screenshot of what we'd see. All right, University of Texas. Don't like their suggestion, so I'm going to do utexas.edu and apply. And just compare that back, right? I got this sitting here, utexas.edu. Good. Right, I'm going to slide these two tabs next to each other because I got so many tabs open. And then just one by one, just kind of insert those links. I'll take a minute. Let's see, IU. Oh, so this is Indiana, Bloomington. I want IU. There we go. Right. IU. Okay. Next one is Berkeley. Let's see what's happening. At home. Good recording. Cool. Sweet. All right. Cali. Let's see if they give me Berkeley. Nope. We want Berkeley. EU. There we go. Nice. All right. North Carolina should be unc.edu. Yeah. Looks good. I like that one. NYU. Should be nyu.edu. Cool. Oh, looks like that was misspelled. When Sigmund made her copy data, she misspelled university in New York University. So go back in and fix that. Let's see if I can fix that. So we don't have that issue, university. Sweet, glad I caught that. All right, New York University. nyu.edu. Should be UVA next. Let's see. Oh, Virginia.edu. Okay. Let's see. Nice. Virginia.edu. Beautiful. A lot of big schools. Man, all over the place. All right, Wisconsin. Really? So SAT scores came out what, Thursday, right? This past week? How'd you guys do? Okay. Really? It's all good. You can always retake it, right? You have the opportunity to retake it if you want to, because I know juniors are taking it in the spring, so you can sign up for that session. If you want to try to do better, let's try to do better. And if you want to learn how to study for the SAT, then we got to talk about that. Let's do that. I'm definitely down to help you guys get better. All right, I'm going to finish this one up. Wisconsin. Ooh, SoCal. USC. Should be the suggested one. Let's see. Let's try that again up here so I can actually see it. USC, nice. All right, done. All right, what do they want? Bold row 3. Bold it. Oh, that's italics. Format column width. Oh, we'll stop right there because this one's actually something a little different where you pick the number of pixels that you want your width to be. So we'll stop right there at number 5. Cool. Nice. Done. I'm gonna start going through and checking these to see how you guys are doing over the next few days. And if anything needs to be updated, I will let you know. Hopefully, cohort B, you guys watch this at home and work through that stuff. And I will see you guys, cohort B, I will see you Thursday.